How bad is the noise from the outside? Is that the wind? Actually, I need some coffee. Oh. Okay. I've got my coffee. Let's roll.
Human reports on one person already using the brand new system.
Welcome back to my channel, guys. I hope this isn't too loud, but if it is, I'll remember for next time we're never recording a video at this time in front of this window again. It's been a while. It's been quite I feel like I owe you guys a video about what the hell has been going on in my life, why I haven't been recording videos, and just a bit of like a catch up. I feel like I go for so many coffee catch ups with friends, and all now 10,000 of you, which still blows my mind, are my friends, and so this is going to be our coffee catch up. So grab a seat, grab a coffee, pause the video, and yeah, let's talk about life. How have you been? What have you been up to? Well, obviously I can't hear what you're saying, but let me know how you're doing in the comments below. I'm going to get started with a bit about how I've been. So let's first begin with what I'm still doing in Oxford. The number of messages that I get from people who are like,
I thought you graduated, I thought you did finals already, how come you're still there?
I know, I feel it too. It's been 4 years. What am I still doing here? I think when I first started Oxford, I had decided, so for my degree there are 2 streams. You can either graduate in 3 years or graduate in 4 years. If you leave it in 3 years, you get a bachelor's degree, and if you leave in 4 years, you get a master's degree. And I had always, before coming to university, thought I'd do the 4 years, just because I was like, normally masters are 2 years long, but here it's just an additional year, and so I feel like it's going to be like less time in academia, and I'll get a master's out of it. And then when I started, I realised that while I was interested in computer science, finance kind of seemed like more of my calling. And then I realised there was no point in me doing more academic work that I wasn't really going to use later on. And so I had mentally decided that I'd probably leave it the 3rd year. And then it was kind of, the reality is that the way that like finance jobs and internships and stuff work, it's really hard for you to get a grad job without having done an internship. And as some of you may know if you've been on my channel for, I secured an internship for the summer after my 3rd year as opposed to in between my 2nd year. And the reason I didn't apply for summer internships then was that I just didn't think I was qualified enough to be able to do 10 weeks in a bank. So at that point I started applying for sort of the mini internships called spring weeks. If you guys want to know more about this, I'm happy to make a video on how like jobs in finance work. But yeah, so I knew that I'd be doing a summer internship after my 3rd year, and if I did get a job off the back of that, it would be for the following year. And so it was up to me to decide whether I wanted to have a year out or have a year in education. And I decided that rather than having a year out, if I did end up working in finance, I felt like it was such a fast-paced, intense environment, and starting a job like that straight from Oxford would probably make it feel not as intense, because work here is quite intense. But if I had taken a year off and not been used to working even like small amounts, then working like 14, 15, 16-hour days would feel like a lot. So I thought I'd rather like keep the momentum going and continue on for another year, because I did enjoy my subjects in like an academic perspective. Yes, it's true I may not use those subjects later on, but I still enjoy my time here. So that's when I decided to do the 4th year, and that's why I'm still here. So this year I'm basically doing my master's. I'm actually doing more philosophy than computer science this year, just because there are so many really cool philosophy options that I wanted to study, like practical ethics and philosophy of cognitive science. So that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, so then that's that side. I've made a list of things I really wanted to talk to you guys about. Yeah, so next point, where have I been? So the reason that this academic year I didn't really vlog that much is because my poor camera, well not this one, it's actually this one over here, stopped working. So I went on holiday in the summer, I was in New York, and I vlogged parts of it, but like very bitty, and I might turn it into a vlog at some point. Oh, so good. But I got back and my Canon G7X just wouldn't turn on. It'd turn on for a second, there'd be a completely blank screen. And I sent it for repair, and they took a while, and it was just all sorts of nonsense. And vlogging on my phone just doesn't really work for me. So I finally got a new camera, and that's why I wear back on track with the vlogs, guys. That's kind of the main reason why I kind of stopped vlogging. And also I feel like for my first term this year, I felt kind of liberated not recording everything that was happening in my life. I feel like I had gotten so used to trying to preempt specific moments so that I can make sure I have my camera ready. And I feel like for a solid couple of months, it's been so nice just kind of like living in the moment. I know that sounds so cliche, but when you're so used to carrying a camera everywhere at every point in your life while you're at Oxford, it's kind of freeing to be like, this moment is just for me and the people around me, as opposed to being broadcast to the whole world. Having said that, I'm kind of ready to go back to the world of vlogging, because I love the amount of times I go back and watch my own vlogs from certain times and see how much I've changed, or how like fun those moments in like first, second and third year were. So I really kind of don't want to lose that for fourth year, because it's quite different and also really fun. Okay, so talking about my internship, I've had a lot of questions on Instagram while I was interning, after my internship, about how it went. So I was interning in an investment bank, and I was in the investment banking division. And I know the first thing you're probably all thinking, those of you who have any vague idea of investment banking, is that it must have been really intense and the hours must have been really long. The reality is that the hours were long, but I think I had a really, really fun summer. I really enjoyed my time interning in the bank. Being someone who doesn't do a finance degree, I was kind of worried that everyone would be smarter, everyone would know more, and I'd be the only person who was just like from a non-finance background trying to figure out what the hell a cash flow statement was. But they gave fantastic training and everyone was just really friendly, and I had a really good time. I definitely recommend, if that's an industry that you're interested in, definitely go out, definitely try to get yourself an internship. They're a great way for you to understand a bit more about the firm, a bit more about the industry, because for me, I was very happy to go into that internship coming out saying banking isn't for me and I'd absolutely hate it. As long as I sort of went in with like, this is a box, I'm either going to tick it or I'm going to cross it. I'm very happy to cross it. I don't want to force myself to love banking, because it is a hard industry in terms of like hours and the amount you have to put into it, and if you're not fully committed, you're not going to do well, you're not going to enjoy your work. So I was very happy to hate it, kind of a thing, and I was very happy to be like, okay, this isn't for me, but I actually ended up loving it. It was so much fun. I had a fantastic time. The summer was just a great experience for me to meet more people like me and just sort of like figure out what I was doing. I was lucky enough to get a job offer off the back of that, and so I'll be starting at the bank at the same company in the coming summer, which I'm really excited about. Who knows, that might like really change the direction of this channel. So yeah, the internship on the whole went really well. I had a great time and now I have a job, so Manny has some idea of what he's doing with his future. So talking a bit about what I'm doing this year. So off the back of, just give you a summary of last year, some of you might have seen my finals vlogs. I ended up getting a 2-1 in my third year. It was a high 2-1. I wasn't very happy with it at the time. Not the fact that I got a 2-1, because I was over the moon about that. I was more upset with individual papers and marks that I'd gotten, because for some papers that I thought I didn't do well in, I did well in, and then papers I thought I did really well in, I didn't do well in at all. So it was just a bit of a weird experience. I knew I didn't want to get caught up on the final number, but there were definitely papers that I feel like I put a lot of effort in, and I really wanted to see that come across, like be seen through the marks, and that just didn't happen. But yeah, whereas this year, I feel like I'm trying to take a bit of a, I'm trying to be a bit more relaxed with myself and my working habits. I feel like last year got a bit much, and that I spent way too much time in the library and not enough time just like enjoying moments in Oxford. And that's exactly what's happened this year. I feel like I've been a bit more social, I've been going out more, I've been seeing my friends more. It's just been a lot more fun, because I'm just not putting that pressure on myself of like, oh my god, I must get a first or I must achieve a specific grade. I'm just like putting my best in and also trying to have a good time at the same time, because I've started to realise that university finishes very quickly. I have a lot of friends who graduated last year who did 3-year degrees, and the one thing they all say is that they wish they sort of savoured the moment a bit more, and I feel like I'm glad that I now have this year to be able to do that. So this has been great. The academic work is still quite tough. I have about an essay every week for philosophy, a problem sheet every week for computer science, and then some work for a really exciting course that I'm doing called Law and Computer Science, which is kind of like the intersection of law and computer science, and how like tech changes the legal frame, how tech can change legal frameworks, and how law has to kind of keep up with tech and the constant changes in that world. But yeah, so that's what I'm currently focusing on this year. I'm just kind of having a really good time and enjoying myself, and I'm very excited to get back into vlogging. But yeah, this is the sort of like quick catch up that I wanted to do. I'm kind of looking forward to be done with Oxford as well. There are some, I'm really glad that I had this year because I've been able to like get involved in like societies and sports that I really didn't have the time to do before. It's a bit weird. It's been a bit of a weird year because a lot of my friends aren't here because a lot of them have graduated, but then again I still have some of my very close friends here, so it's kind of been a good situation overall. Yeah, and I'm very excited to share the sort of last half of the year with you. It's currently it's currently 6th week actually of Hillary, so I've got exactly half of my year left. And yeah, I'm happy to take you guys on this remaining half of the journey. Yeah, if you have any other questions, do let me know in the description box below. I'm gonna try and start vlogging some of my weeks and days while I'm here. And let me know if you have any requests for videos or specific things you'd like me to talk about, whether that's my internship or working in finance or being at Oxford or a bit more about my master's degree. Just let me know and I'm happy to sort of brainstorm some things to talk to you guys about. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are. I hope you just have the best coffee catch up. Let me know how you've been since I last saw you. Comment down below. And I'd love to hear about what's happening in your lives. Have you got a new academic journey that you've begun? How has university been if you've just started this year? How's working life if you started working? Yeah, I want to hear about it. So let me know, send me a DM, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.